All right, I got my coffee, so let's talk all things the Peachtree Road Race 2026. We're going to do a little mile by mile breakdown. So if you are running it in 2027 or you are just curious, here's everything you need to know. First thing I will say is I did not wake up early enough. I know I said in a previous video how early I needed to wake up, and I didn't do it. And then I was hustling to the start line and didn't even get to go to the bathroom because the bathroom lines were so long. But it was okay. I got a little over a mile warm up before, got my heart rate up just a tad, and was ready to take off. Like most races, the first mile is really just weaving and trying to get your footing past people that are walking, people slower than you, letting people pass you, really just kind of figuring out your footing. Really tried to take the first mile easy. First stop, I found a porta potty that did not have any lines. Thankfully, I got in and out of that porta potty in like 15 seconds. So if you do not go before the race, it is not the end of the world, especially if you are in one of the earlier waves. I was in wave E, and seriously, there were a couple of people that ran up the same time as I did. We all got in and out like super, super fast. Miles 2 and 3, it's so easy to want to just like go because it's really all downhill. But really have been working in my training on learning how to coast on my legs as much as possible. So really taking advantage of the downhill without like pushing my body, knowing that uphill was coming. Once I got to the bottom of Cardiac Hill, I was honestly feeling pretty good. I had gotten my holy water. There were definitely a lot of more sprinklers and fire hydrants open, so I was staying very cool. And the other thing that I had already realized by the time I got to my halfway point was my trick of doing my handheld water bottle with electrolytes in it and being able to drink that as much as I wanted to, and then using cups on the side of the course to pour on my body made the biggest difference. So going into mile 3 and Cardiac Hill, I was feeling good. My heart rate was pretty steady, and I was honestly just coasting. I loved it. I turned off my music actually in Cardiac Hill because I was feeling so good. Stopped and said thank you to all the people that came out from Shepherd Center. It was just like it was probably one of my favorite moments. Really cool to see everybody out there cheering. They were throwing like little like towel things, so it was kind of nice. I put that on my water bottle just so I could have like a little bit of fabric to like wipe sweat off as I went. And then as soon as you get up Cardiac Hill, you're on that downhill, really coasted that downhill and recovered as much as possible. Really enjoyed that. And the thing that threw me off the most the entire race was right about mile 4, for about half a mile, they are doing road work. And so the gravel was like tripping me up almost. So I don't know if anybody else that ran it noticed that, but I was like, I don't feel like I have steady footing, and it really kind of threw me off. Like not that much, but enough that I was like, this is annoying. Mile 5 is when I really started to notice the heat and my pace were getting to me a little bit. I was definitely going a little bit faster than I had expected at all to go in this race because I was really more worried about my heart rate and my overall physical feeling due to the heat. But my heart rate got up a little high, started to not feel good, backed off just a hair, and it made the world of a difference. And honestly, I felt really strong. I hit mile 6 where you do that like camera op, or you do the big photo op. And as soon as we started that downhill, I was just like, as much as people would let me, it's definitely very hard to have moments where you're sprinting, but I was like, let me just go. I felt so good, so strong, and crossing that finish line really was so special. I didn't even know what my pace really was looking like. I knew what my mile splits were, but I didn't know what I was actually on pace to go time-wise, but I finished right at 50 minutes, which was a PR for me, which I've said Peachtree is not a PR place. I definitely had a ton left in the tank, but also I've been training in the heat in the hills for basically my whole life, but especially this whole entire summer. So I was definitely ready for it. But it was amazing. It's been a couple years since I've done the Peachtree. I do not ever remember them having so many snacks and drinks, which was so fun. So I really just like took in the celebration of the Peachtree, made sure to get like literally every snack and drink possible. I had my fresh peach. I got the cooling towel. It was really cool. Not just like a regular towel, but actually something that's kind of cool. And then, of course, I got my beer. Sweetwater always has the most amazing beer, so that was really fun. And the Coca-Cola sponsored hydration station, I got all kinds of stuff. I literally loaded down my bag with all kinds of drinks. I did think that the weather was not as bad as I had probably made it out to be in my mind. I know that when I left my house, it was 94% humidity, which is 100% what I was looking for. But the clouds really made a difference. I know somebody had mentioned that probably the Atlanta Track Club hired an Etsy witch for the weather, and maybe they did, because honestly, I just didn't find it to be that bad. Again, I was in an earlier wave, but the clouds really made the biggest difference. But truly a special race as always. And even with that said, I'm feeling pretty good today. And honestly, I have never done this before, but I might go ahead and sign up for next year while they are doing open registration this week. But I am very glad to have that over. It was so fun to see so many people out there having the best time, watching everybody's recap videos and photos. It's truly a special Atlanta tradition. I am excited to do it next year, and I'm also really excited to pop into my next training block of 2026. So follow along. I'll be sharing what I'm up to next in the next couple of days, and I'll see you guys out on